Hi, this is Jared with Faith Through Adversity, coming to you from the Prater Family Dojo. The father of modern karate, Gichin Funakoshi, always said karate begins and ends with respect. This is a shout out and a special thanks to all my teachers, whom I never would have made it here without. American Tong Sudo Grandmaster level instructor, Professor Charlie Phillips. I call him Sensei. Also to my Sifu, Patrick Alligood, out in Madison, Georgia, teaching Chinese Kajukenbo. And to my old friends in Tai Chi from back in the day, Jocelyn Simpson, Robert Welchel, and Tracy Ann Fuso. A lot of this is off the cuff, and I wanted to say a lot more, but maybe I'll come back and do a part 2 one day. There's a lot that I didn't cover. So let's jump in. We are called to be good stewards of our bodies, aren't we? Not only is your body a temple, but the stronger you become, the more you can help others. So listen to this. Those who live only to satisfy their own sinful nature will harvest decay and death from that sinful nature. But those who live to please the Spirit will harvest everlasting life from the Spirit. So let's not get tired of doing good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. There comes a time when everyone must ask themselves this question. Why exactly do we train anyway? It's a bit of a loaded question, isn't it? And I don't mean why did you start training? I mean why do you continue to train? Long term, as part of a lifestyle. Obviously, I can't just analyze every single reason and motivation. It would take hours. Notice that the reasons we continue to train change over time. It's hardly ever really one reason. It's usually quite a few. Of course, entertainment plays a role. Athletes and role models we look up to. The legends of warriors from the past. A lot of people love the distraction that it offers. Get exercise, relieve stress, have fun, meet people. Not to mention it helps a lot of kids too. Training helps kids out a lot. Helps them out with anti-bullying, building confidence, coordination, understanding how to move their body around. It gives me something fun to do with my nephew sometimes when I'm feeling up to it. Or even when my other nephew's visiting out of state. When I was a kid, my papa used to say that I had 3 left feet. I was really uncoordinated. I had no sense of balance. I wanted to learn. I was enthusiastic, but I was terrible. I just wasn't athletic. Later on, my health problems developed, and it is what it is, but you know what? Martial arts is one of the reasons that I'm coordinated as I am. But to make it really work, I had to go elsewhere. I had to learn about other types of exercise, sports, how to work out properly without hurting yourself, and things like that. You know, it's another good reason some people get into martial arts? Safety. You learn a lot about break falls, how to fall as best you can without hurting yourself. You know, that reminds me, there was this one time after I had my 2nd surgery. I had a bowel resection because of this abscess that had formed from the last resection that I had. And I was just recovering. I finally got back home. I was on steroids, so I was a little hyper. I didn't really do a whole lot. There were these gas-powered mopeds, and we'd ride them around the neighborhood, and it was a lot of fun. So my friend came over, and at the time I was living at my dad's house. It probably wasn't a good idea, but we both got on there, and we started riding around the neighborhood. Real fun. I wasn't going as fast as a car or anything, but thing is, I was riding down the street. I tried to turn a little too sharp because I saw this huge snake on the road. Turned out it was some kind of king snake, I think. When I saw that, of course, I wasn't thinking clearly, so I looked down and I was like, oh, cool! And I tried to point it out to my friend and be like, hey, look, there's a snake! And, of course, like a dummy, it made me crash, so flipped right over the handlebar. Now this could have been a lot worse. All I had on was a bicycle helmet, that's it. So thankfully I shoulder rolled out of it and I was safe. Many people started out looking to increase confidence and discipline, getting stronger, faster, smarter, to be the best version of themselves they can be. But what's it really all for? At some point, you're gonna have to have a better reason than that. I know some people do it for money, but there are other ways, and this was chosen for a reason. The funny thing is, when you think about it that way, even professional competitors probably have better reasons than just money. Maybe they just love to do it. And I don't know about you, the people I train with, the culture I've experienced, all the things I've gone through, what it's helped me with in my personal life. That's enough motivation right there on its own. Most of the time, if it's just for yourself, it's pretty likely that you're going to lose motivation sooner or later. Now, if you're doing it for family, friends, or loved ones, however, that's a whole different situation. Sometimes people actually do it for God's glory. A lot of the time, you help others when you're glorifying God anyway. That's just kind of how it works. Now, in theory, you train so you have the health and strength needed to carry these tasks out. These are just a couple of examples. People have many different reasons for training. Some is for health, some happens to be just for fun, some like the sport aspects, some like fighting. It helps me out with my health. Now, it's not perfect, it doesn't cure anything. In fact, I can't do it all the time. There's just certain times and varying intensities depending on what kind of situation I'm in a given day or week. But it's one of the most natural forms of exercise. There are people who train for the self-defense or even cultural aspects. Some do it for physical rehabilitation or even mental health. There unfortunately are some that enjoy hurting others. Disturbed people with no sense of honor. Sometimes they just want to keep doing it, staying hidden in plain sight. Sadly, this is also sometimes true in the military. Some people are just on a power trip and looking for a reason to hurt somebody. That being said, I suggest you keep an eye out for them. They do exist. This might sound like just another boogeyman, but this is a little different. I honestly don't know how common it is, though, for what it's worth. But I do know that a lot of people in the martial arts community have trouble keeping their ego in check. Training for one's own ego leads to failure. That might be different if you're training for the greater good, though. But hey, it's up to you. There are probably 1,000 other reasons why people do it, but the point is, you have to ask yourself. And really think about this hard. Why do you train?